Takes a long time when you're waiting. There we are. We're live. We are live. And yes, so I'm here with Margaret Williams from The Empowered Leader. Hi, Ashley. Thank you for being the first person to join. I met Ashley yesterday. Lovely, lovely guy. Anyway, so hi, Ashley. Hi, Katie. So Margaret, it's so lovely to be here with you. When we had a conversation about a week or so ago, um, that we were chatting, and I think sometimes when somebody, either I read something or somebody says something pulls on my intuition, and kind of something inside me says that's important. And I've started to really take notice of those messages now. And so the thing I wrote down when I was talking to you is what I've titled this live session, which is this is who I am. And you were telling me about your life and your work, and that really resonated with me when you said this is who I am. And the reason why it resonated is because I think after coming up from being very shy when I was young, having no confidence, or I didn't think I had any confidence, I was very lonely, very unhappy. Probably for a lot of my life, I was very unhappy. I went through a bad marriage, etc., as we do. And I finally think I've come into myself. I mean, obviously, I'm still growing, I'm still developing, but all the work I've done over the years, I think this is me, this is who I am. so, what about you, Margaret? Who are you? Introduce yourself.
Well, Margaret Williams, and I was born in Ann Arbor, Michigan. I I grew up in Detroit. Um, my mom was diagnosed with schizophrenia,
Wow.
and I was separated from my older brother um, when I was 3. I was made to go live with my abusive uh, father, who happened to be a minister, and he verbally and physically abused myself and my stepmother, who was an angel. She was an absolute angel. She couldn't have kids, and so when my mother, I guess her and my mother were friends, okay, and
Mm-hmm.
so my mother realized she couldn't take care of me, so she sent me down. And dropped me off at my aunt's house, which was my father's um, younger sister. And my stepmother said to him, "Go get her. We will raise her," because she couldn't have kids of her own. And she was an amazing woman. And I asked her, I like, "Why you stay with him?" She said, "Well, I have nowhere else to go, you know."
Wow.
And I said to myself, that was back in, you know, at a time when women were totally relying upon men
Mm.
for their livelihood. So women had to put up with whatever happened at home, and just to exist. And so
Mm.
I vowed that I would never ever allow that to happen to me. But the same thing that we say that we don't allow, it ends up happening anyway.
Mm.
And so through my life, that's just this one instance, okay. So I um I always wondered why my older brother never came around, and I didn't find out till my father died. He said, your father, used to take me around to all these women's houses and have me sitting. He sat on the porch. Okay, the perception is there. Okay, and so I'm
Mm.
like, okay, I can see parallels from what he's telling me from what I see growing up as a kid. Okay, and so as a kid being taken from your nuclear family first of all, and then being brought into this other place and being your father's bastard child. I'm sorry, but I'm just calling it like I see
Mm.
it.
It's what you are, what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So to have that stigma, to grow up with that stigma, to have people mocking and stuff like that. And you, the preacher's daughter on top of that. Okay. So I'm in the spotlight whether I want to be a not, and not in a good way. Okay. So I have to live with all that. So I vowed, like I said, I'm never going to let nobody treat me that way. But yet still, I end up, choosing partners just like my father, who I end up realizing was probably a narcissist and perhaps bipolar. Okay. Because he could go off just for no reason. Okay. I don't care how much I try to stay small or say, be good or, be quiet or whatever. It didn't matter. When he go off the rails, he gonna go off the rails and everybody gonna pay. Okay. Including my stepmother. And I was just afraid that one day he might hit her and her head hit the corner of a table. Okay. And she's gone. So I'm like, it was really too much for me. It was really too much. So I just prayed. I really prayed. I'm not into religion or politics for obvious reasons, but I prayed, and my faith is what got me to where I am today. Okay, my faith and my values. Okay, you got to stand for something or fall for anything. Okay. And when the chips are down and when things are dreary and things seem like there's no way out, trust and believe there is. And that's when I pray. People say, okay, I don't believe. The first thing they'll say, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? Without even realizing it. You know what I'm saying? And so be careful what you say and be careful what you ask for. That's why I wrote that, article about manifestation, because it is true. It all starts in the mind, what you think, you know what I'm saying? For all the things that I've been through in my life, there has to be a God, okay? Because there's no way I could have made through without a higher power of some sort, traveling the world. I don't care what you call him. You call him, in Arabic, they call him a different name, and when I was in Israel, they call him by a different name. If you Buddhism, you call him by whatever name, whatever that is, gonna get you through the day, gonna get you through those challenging times. You call him that, okay? And that's what got me through.
I agree. I agree. And I think, it, like you say, it's a higher power. It doesn't matter whether you're talking to the universe, to God, to Allah, to the Buddha, whatever your faith is. It's not, I don't necessarily think it's the same as religion. I think, religion can be, as you found growing up, it can be quite debilitating and restricting and authoritarian, which is not good. But having faith, I think we all need to have faith, and I think that, and like you say, that is what brings you through. And I think I've got to the point in my life now where I didn't have any religious upbringing apart from the stuff we did at school. My parents, although in my parents' day, you had to have your child christened because otherwise, they didn't know what would happen to you eventually. So I was christened, but that's the only time, apart from weddings and funerals, that I went to a church. So I grew up without any religion, but I also grew up without faith because I didn't feel there was anything, which I think is part of the sadness I had inside me, because I didn't have anything to hold on to connect to. But since I've started getting more spiritual and believing in the universe and talking to the universe and talking to my soul and my guiding angels, I can see the light, as they say. I can definitely see the light. And I think once you do that and you take the bars off your heart, because we put bars around our heart when we get hurt to protect us, but that shuts love out. It shuts love out. You can't let love in. You can't let it back out. And so you are isolated. And once I started to do that, and the bars came off my heart, it's a completely different world. And now I can feel that light inside me. I can feel it growing every day. And and I sometimes, this part of me, my inner critic says, well, that's really cheesy, Sue. What are you talking about? Nobody wants to hear this. But I think people do, and I think people need to. And particularly, what we're seeing around the world, particularly in America, now, we need to have that faith. We need to have hope. We need to hold on to each other as tight as we can, and bring, and let that love go through us. So yeah, I don't know where that all came from. I think that was just downloaded from the universe.
It was a message that people needed to hear, and that message
Absolutely.
is coming through you. We are the vehicle in which that's happening. Okay, and we need to elevate that voice, and more people need to hear that more than ever now. Okay, as
Yeah.
a government employee with 38 and a half, almost 38 and a half years, okay, of sacrifice with men and women, civilian service members, it was really a slap in the face to get that fork in the road uh, email. And I'm gonna talk about it, okay, if you don't mind,
Do. No, do.
because I don't care. I don't give a damn at this point, okay? It's flat out, okay?
I think
Because
we're all past caring now, aren't we?
exactly.
We say
Because
what
what you
we
gonna do?
think.
Fire me? Because I can retire, okay? And that's where I'm at today. I am released, okay? And that was a wake up call for me. Okay, the government is too big. I get it. But my mama taught me it's a way to do everything you want to do, okay? And it's all good. It's all good because I was at the fork in the road for many years now. And I can't continue to burn the candle at both ends and be effective, okay? I love this job. I love writing and I love coaching. I can't do both. I got to give something up to get to really where I want to be in life. We have to give something up to be where we want to go. Okay. You got to let go, let go, and just claim the person that you truly want to be. Okay. And that you are, that you deserve, and that the world deserves to be a part of.
Yes.
And that's where I am.
Yeah. So you say the email. Tell us about the email.
Oh, well, that was just the beginning of the end. I told them, okay, when they first said you got to come back to work, I knew that was the beginning of the end. They're going to start taking things away slowly, but slowly. And then they're going to make it unattractive for people like me. Well, why do I want to work here? I can go and work in private industry. Okay. I have a master's degree in industrial and organizational psychology, 38 years of civil service experience. I'm a certified executive, coach. You mean to tell me I can't compete out there with people in the workplace?
Of
Okay,
course
we're
you
gonna
can.
see. Okay, it's time for me to see what the world has for me out there. Okay, I'm being pushed out for a reason because God has something else better planned for me. Okay,
Yeah.
that was yesterday. This is tomorrow. I have to face that, and I'm ready. I'm ready to see and it's scary. Okay, I'm an introvert, and I was like going back and forth. I was like, I can't do this, but I can. I can. How do I do it? One step at a time, one thought at a time. I think I can. Remember that little train? Those lessons that we learn from little kids is the most valuable lessons you learn throughout your whole life. You take those with you. More valuable than even my master's degree, which I still have to pay for, figure out how to pay for now that the student loan people have been discontinued, their jobs, whatever. We have to keep pushing forward, regardless of what happened in the world. We have to keep making our own path.
Absolutely, yeah. So you've started the Empowered Leader now, and that's your publication on Substack, and which is doing really well. It seems to be moving fast because I don't think you've only started about a month ago. Is that right?
A little bit over, just before Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so this is empowering women. That's your idea.
You. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No,
I'm
go on.
glad glad you mentioned that because I started it since I work with government and most places I go to, I'm usually either the only woman or the only African American woman. Okay, working in construction. I've been working for the Corps of Engineers. Like I said, the whole time. So I've been working in construction, worked my way up from being a survey tech, on the topo crew. I did it all. I was put in that position when my job was eliminated. And so I just followed it through. I just followed the progression, and here I am. So I know the struggles that women go through in non-traditional fields and how we are treated. And I just rose above all of that. So I'm like, hey, I think I'm a success story and I can help people. And so everybody said, you gotta niche, so I like, okay, I will, niche down, because if you selling products, whatever, who are you talking to? Okay, I like, okay. But what happened was, ironically, about half of my subscribers are men. So I'm like, what do I do about that? I was like, I don't do anything about it. Whoever gravitates to you, whoever gets you, that's who your tribe is. And you have to embrace that. Okay.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to do is make things more inclusive now. How that's going to work out,
Absolutely.
it's going to work out how it's going to work out. Okay. If I have to do something
Absolutely.
separate for women, I'll figure that out down the road. Okay. We all need to heal. We all want to learn. We all want to grow. We all have the same ambitions in life, whether you're a man or a woman. So I embrace everybody. I don't care who you are. Okay, they got rid of DEI. Okay, whatever. We are inclusive over here, whoever you are. And if you have a like-minded philosophy, you're welcome here, because this is my home that I created for everybody. This is our safe space. Okay, I didn't have that. So I created this place for everybody who wants to be a part of it.
Yeah,
Let's go.
brilliant. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But do you think? I mean, and I really I like the idea of leaving it open to anybody that is called to join you, because a good leader is a good leader, whether they're female, male. They are a good leader. But I think a good leader has a good balance of feminine and masculine energy. So it doesn't necessarily mean they're male or female. It just means they've got that balance of energy, which is what we need, because the different energies, it does balance out. But do you think, and it's a loaded question, do you think we need more feminine leaders? So do we need more women leaders, more women in power, would you say?
I think we just need forward thinking leaders. I don't care if you're transgender. I don't care what you are. As long as you have people's right intentions in mind, then go for it. The reason I don't like politics and religion is because people use it to manipulate and control.
Mm.
That's why I despise both. Okay?
Yeah, yeah,
Period. That's why I'm
agree.
a spiritual person and I stay away from politics, because
Yeah,
I don't need to go there. I
I
already
agree.
explained.
I think, yeah, if you embrace love and spirituality, stay away from religion and politics, because it's very dividing.
Too dividing
Just
for me. I'm
yeah, yeah,
and as we know, we're about peace, you know, and wellness.
yeah,
And so
yeah.
wherever that is, politics and religion is on the other side of it. Okay?
Yeah,
Period.
definitely, definitely. I mean, for me, I like to come from, like I say, a foundation of love. So the three words that I've been embracing this year in 2025 are love, gratitude, and kindness. And I think if I bring those into my life and live from that foundation, use those as my values, then I can be a lot and I can give a lot, which I think is important. And this is what I'm trying to do, because I started out. Well, I started out in the corporate world, 42 years in retail banking, um, and when I retired just before I was 60, that was when I was one of those people that said I will do that when, which I don't. I encourage people now to do whatever they want to do now and to find a way, but my background was like a career for life. So I stayed in the same career all of my life, building up within the banking. But when I left, I thought, right now, I'm going to do the coaching that I want to do. And I'm going to talk about confidence and write about confidence, because this is what I've helped myself with. So this is what I know I can help others. But having moved on from there and spoken to a lot of people, done a lot of coaching, um, and learned a lot, I think it's more than just building confidence. It's building building a community of people that support each other with love, gratitude, and kindness. And I think when we do that, this is when we are connected, and this is when we can manifest all the things we want in our life, because those three, kindness, gratitude, and love, are the biggest powers, the strongest powers in the universe, I believe. I mean, the universe is love, I believe. Whether you call it God, Allah, Buddha, whatever, it's love to me. There's that energy. And scientists have proven that there is an energy in the universe. They don't know what it is, but there's a definite energy, and it's definitely alive. And I believe that that's love. And because we don't know what it is, I can believe anything I want. So to me, it's love.
And as we know, love conquers hate. Okay.
Yes.
And that's what I'm about. And if you're not about that, then I don't want you nowhere near me, because, no. I believe in karma. So, I
Yes.
believe in what you put out in life, it comes back to you tenfold. Maybe not to other people that doing the wrong in the world. We can't worry about them. We have to worry about ourselves, and the people that gets us, and the people,
Yeah.
that gel with us.
Yeah. I mean, the people that are doing the wrong in the world, I think that they have that lack of love. I mean, at some point in their life, they lost that connection. They are lost souls, I
Maybe
want to
they
say, or part of their soul is missing. They can come back. They can come back to the light, but at the moment, they are in the darkness. That's how I look at it. You
well,
don't
as we
agree, I
know,
think.
well, when I look at the Bible, I'm sorry, but when I look at its situation, we have lightness, we have light, and we have dark. We have love,
Mhm.
we have hate. We have all
Yeah.
of these yin and yang. We have all of these things, and we have five senses, and we have free will. So we should understand the things that we should and should not do based on our values, okay, and based on the things that we know that are right.
I totally agree. I totally agree. And we should, but what we should do and what we do are different. And I still think that, I mean, I want to send my love out to every single living being on the planet and anywhere else. That doesn't mean I have to like them. It just means I'm sending them love. And hopefully that love will heal their hearts and bring them out of the darkness into the light. That's how I like to see things, that you don't have to be a bad person, is what I'm trying to say. You don't have to do the things you do. You can change, because everybody has that choice. And it doesn't matter what happened in the past. You can close that door and move on from there and say, right, from today, my life will change. I was a bad person. Now I'm a good person, or I'm on the road to being a good person. And people that have been in prisons, been done bad things, they can change. That I think leopards can change their spots, but not. I know not everybody will change. Not everybody finds the way back fully to the light. So we always have to be careful. We can't just meet people and expect them to be good no matter what they say. So you have to be, and this is where knowing your values and knowing your boundaries is important, because one of the things that I learned from going from having a very low self-esteem to becoming the confident, vibrant person I think I am today, one of the things that I've learned that is really important is knowing what your values are, knowing what you stand for, and then putting your boundaries in place to protect that. Because there are predators who will use you if you don't have strong boundaries. That's just how it is. But again, if you're coming from a place of love, gratitude, and kindness, they are strong energies. Your vibration lifts, and you have these low vibration predators. They might try knocking on your door and trying to get in, but it's more difficult when you're coming from a strong foundation of love, kindness, and gratitude, and you've got your boundaries in place, and you know what you stand for. I think you're well protected. That you're kind of a much stronger person. Does that make sense? Do you agree with that?
I totally agree with what you're saying, but you just have to be aware and pay attention to the signs. Your body, pay attention.
Yeah,
Your body will tell you. You get certain. Sometimes the hair will raise on on your
yeah,
skin.
yeah.
Sometimes you'll get chills. Sometimes something will tell you you'll feel something's not right. Pay attention to these signs. It's something is telling you. These angels around you are telling you to be careful, or it's
Mm.
telling you it's okay to embrace this person, vice versa.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, your body, like you say, will send you signals all the time, letting you know. Because the first thing when you see somebody is somebody's walking towards you and you don't know them. The first thing your body, your brain will think is this a friend or is this a foe? And
Hmm.
because it
Hmm.
wants you to survive, and that's the only thing your brain cares about, your survival. So it will make that decision in an instant, in a flash. It may or may not be entirely right, but it will make that decision, and then it will build up on all the information it gets from that point on. Which is why sometimes you meet somebody and you think they're absolutely amazing, and you completely fall for them, and then a
Hmm.
little while later
Hmm.
you think, there's red flags coming up now. And sometimes
Hmm.
we get ourselves into a position where we ignore the red flags because we think, no, 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 this person is wonderful, I'm in love, blah blah blah. And I've been there and
Hmm.
done that myself. And then further down the road we realize that we should have taken notice of those red flags that came up, but we didn't, because we thought, actually, this person's making me happy. But and that happens a lot in narcissistic, no, I can never say this word, narcissistic relationships, that you fall so deeply it's hard to get yourself back out
Absolutely, and I think that's a great article to write about in the future. But
again.
what I try to do now is try to write about light-hearted things. It's enough chaos and challenges people are facing outside the world. They're looking for inspiration and motivation. So that's the thing. That's where we come in, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
and
there's
that's
enough doom
where
and gloom.
exactly you can just pick up your phone. You can see something on the news. It
Yeah,
doesn't take much.
yeah. Yeah.
So I spend more time on Reddit looking at the little dog pictures because it just fills me up with joy, and cats. That's the kind of stuff I want to bring more joy into my life, and that's the things
More
I'm
cat
going to do.
videos.
Okay, exactly. Because my boss, I told her, me and her had a very contentious relationship. It was horrible. They made
Oh.
her apologize to me, okay? And I know that killed her because she had. I don't want to get into all that, but anyway, I told her. She said, "Oh, Margaret, I see you done packed." I'm like, "You ain't got to tell me twice. You done sent me a email like fork in the road. I know it's coming. I know the paperwork is coming. So yeah, I packed. What you thought? I done moved 8 times. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to. I don't have to wait for the wrecking ball to come and realize. Oh, I should get out the way. That's not how I roll. Okay. So yeah, she already know. I said I'm gonna retire any day that I feel that you know my rights and stuff are being taken away. They are because I come in. Oh, you supposed to be in here at 6. I told her. Oh, okay. I sent her a text. I'm sitting here at 6 a.m. I'm gonna do it every day just to aggravate her because last weekend I got 27 text messages about the fork in the road and about these 5 bullet points. I am fed up. You can have this job. I'm just about there. I'm right here. She's talking about, well, I'm gonna retire in January. Well, help yourself, because I'm gonna be out of here any day. You come up with something else. I'm gonna give them little 5 bullet points because my financial planner told me, Margaret, if you can make it till July next year, it's not going to happen. He said, well, try to make it to January. That's not going to happen. He said, can you make it till July this year? I said, I don't know. We'll see. I'm
You'll
serious.
make it. You will make it. I know you
I'm
will.
fed
I
up.
know, but you're doing so well at the minute. So before we wrap up, then, and it has been brilliant talking to you. You've made me laugh, and I'm going to go and look at cat videos now. um,
Yes.
is there anything you want to say before we finish up? What message would you leave to the people that are here watching?
I just want everybody to stay encouraged, okay? And we need to help and lift and support each other. And that's how we get through this. You know, the pendulum is going to continue to move back and forth. There's nothing we can do about that. But what we can do is the things that are within our control. And that's what we need to focus on.
Yeah.
And show more kindness to others.
Absolutely. Yeah. Focus on what you can control. And and for me, I would say try and live from a foundation of love, gratitude, and kindness, or develop your own words around that, however you want to live your life. But believe in something, have faith in something, and let that be your mission of where you're going to go in the future. So, Margaret Williams of the Empowered Leader. It's been so wonderful talking to you. I've really enjoyed this. So thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
And
thank you.
thank you everybody for being here, and thank you for your comments. And I think Dr. Bronze Rice, you're going to join me and watch more cat videos. That sounds great.
All right.
Brilliant. Thank you. I'm going to end
there
then. Thank you everybody. It's been wonderful.
All right, bye.
Bye.